In the heart of an old village, where lanterns lit the streets and the scent of fresh bread filled the air, a young boy named Yusuf eagerly awaited the arrival of Ramadan. He loved everything about this blessed month, the warmth of family gatherings, the soothing recitation of the Quran, and the magical glow of lanterns that adorned the streets. Yusuf lived with his mother and younger sister, Amina. His father had passed away when he was little, leaving them with only a small shop that his mother managed. Despite their struggles, his mother always reminded him, Ramadan is a time of blessings, and Allah's mercy is endless. A special gift. One evening, as Yusuf wandered through the marketplace, he came across an old lantern seller. The elderly man, with a kind smile and a long white beard, held up a beautifully carved lantern. It was old but had a unique glow, as if it carried stories of generations past. "This is no ordinary lantern," the man said, placing it in Yusuf's hands. "It brings light to those who truly believe in its purpose." Yusuf was fascinated. He wanted to buy it, but he had only a few coins, barely enough for a loaf of bread. Seeing his hesitation, the old man gently placed his wrinkled hand over Yusuf's. "Take it, my boy. Ramadan is about giving, and I believe you are meant to have this." Yusuf's eyes widened in gratitude. He bowed his head and whispered, "Jazakallah khair, uncle." The first night of Ramadan. That night, Yusuf carefully placed the lantern on the wooden table beside the prayer mat. As the call to Maghrib prayer echoed through the village, he made dua, asking Allah to bless their home with peace and sustenance. Then something remarkable happened. When he lit the lantern, its golden glow filled the entire room, spreading warmth like a comforting embrace. His mother and sister gasped in amazement. "It's beautiful," Amina whispered, her small hands reaching toward the light. Strangely, from that night onward, small miracles began to unfold. Customers, who had once overlooked their tiny shop, started arriving in greater numbers. The shelves, which were often half empty, somehow never seemed to run out of goods. One evening, Yusuf noticed an elderly beggar outside their shop. Without hesitation, he took a loaf of bread and a bowl of soup to him. His mother smiled approvingly, knowing that kindness was the true essence of Ramadan. The night of power, Laylatul Qadr. As the last 10 nights approached, Yusuf grew more curious about the lantern. Could this really be special? He wondered. On the 27th night, he decided to stay up for tahajjud. He placed the lantern in front of him, seeking Allah's guidance. As he prayed, he felt an overwhelming sense of peace. The room was silent, yet his heart was full. That night, he dreamt of his father, standing in a field of light, smiling at him. "My son," his father's voice echoed, "true light comes from within. Keep your faith strong, and you will never be in darkness." A Ramadan to remember. When Eid arrived, Yusuf looked at the lantern one last time before carefully wrapping it. He walked back to the old man's shop, hoping to thank him, but the shop was gone. The street vendors said the old man hadn't been there for years. Confused yet grateful, Yusuf left the lantern in the mosque, knowing that its light belonged to others now. As he stepped outside, he smiled, feeling an unexplainable warmth in his heart. Ramadan had taught him something he would never forget. True blessings come not from what we receive, but from what we give,